Today, we're diving into a tale of two fats, and it gets right to the heart of a huge question in nutrition. Are all calories really created equal? Let's find out. So, here's the mystery we're going to unravel today. Imagine two people. They both overeat by the exact same number of calories. The only thing that's different is the type of fat those extra calories come from. Does it really matter? The answer might actually surprise you. Okay, so let's meet our two main characters in this story. On one side, we've got saturated fats, the kind you find in things like butter, palm oil, and fatty meats. And on the other side, we have polyunsaturated fat. This is the stuff in sunflower oil, nuts, and seeds. So what happens when we put these two head to head? To get to the bottom of this, we've got two major clues to look at. And the first one comes from a pretty interesting situation, one where scientists made sure nobody actually gained any weight. This is key because it lets us see what the fat itself is doing to our body's internal machinery. Now, before we go any further, there's one really important concept we need to get our heads around: insulin sensitivity. Just think of insulin like a key. Its job is to unlock your cells to let sugar in for energy. If you have high sensitivity, that lock is well-oiled, it works perfectly. But if you have low sensitivity, the key kind of gets stuck, and sugar starts to build up in your blood. Not good. So, let's look at this first study. Researchers took a group of overweight adults and put them on a really controlled diet for 4 weeks. The crucial part here, everyone got just enough calories to maintain their weight. No gaining, no losing. One group ate a diet that was high in saturated fat, while the other ate a low-fat diet. And the results? Wow, they were pretty striking. The group on the low-fat diet? No change in their insulin sensitivity. It stayed exactly the same. But the group eating all that saturated fat saw their insulin sensitivity go down a lot. Basically, their cellular locks got rustier, even though they hadn't gained a single pound. The researchers themselves summed it up pretty clearly. They said that a diet high in saturated fat directly messes with your body's ability to handle sugar. And that, right there, is a huge step on the path toward type 2 diabetes. That's our first big clue. All right, on to clue number 2. Now we're going to see what happens when people do gain weight. And let me tell you, this is where the story gets really dramatic. So, get this. In a study called Lipogain, researchers had healthy, normal weight people eat about 750 extra calories every single day, in the form of muffins, for 7 weeks. Sounds kind of fun, right? But here's the twist. Half of them got muffins made with palm oil. That's a saturated fat. The other half got muffins made with sunflower oil, a polyunsaturated fat. So, after 7 weeks of this muffin diet, what happened? Well, if you just looked at the scale, you'd think nothing interesting happened at all. Both groups gained the exact same amount of weight, about 1.6 kilos, or 3.5 pounds. So, case closed, right? A calorie is a calorie. Well, not so fast. The real story isn't how much weight they gained, but where that weight went. And here is the first jaw dropper. For the group eating the saturated fat muffins, the amount of fat packed into their livers shot up by 55%. This is a really big deal because having a fatty liver is tightly linked to all sorts of metabolic problems. Those extra calories were being stored in one of the worst places possible. Now let's look at the polyunsaturated fat group. Their bodies did something totally different with those exact same calories. They gained nearly 3 times more lean tissue, we're talking muscle, than the saturated fat group. So instead of just storing that energy as dangerous organ fat, their bodies were using it to build something useful. This chart just lays it all out so clearly. Look at this side by side. The polyunsaturated group from sunflower oil, no real change in liver fat, a small increase in that dangerous fat around their organs, and a big gain in lean muscle. Now the saturated fat group from palm oil, a massive increase in liver fat, twice as much visceral fat, and almost no new muscle. It's the same number of calories, folks, but 2 completely different bodies are being built. So, what's the final verdict here? Let's connect our 2 clues, the insulin sensitivity one and the fat storage one, to see the whole picture. And here it is, the big aha moment. Saturated fat basically delivers a 1-2 punch of bad news. First, it messes with your body's ability to handle sugar. And second, it tells your body to store any extra calories as harmful fat right in your liver and around your organs.
Polyunsaturated fat, on the other hand, does pretty much the opposite. It doesn't hurt your sugar processing, and it encourages your body to use those extra calories to build valuable muscle.
Look, this isn't just some fascinating science experiment. These discoveries have really clear, real-world meaning for all of us. So let's talk about what this means for you. So the huge takeaway here is that where your calories come from matters. A lot. It's not just about the number. Saturated fat pushes your body to build these dangerous fat depots. Polyunsaturated fat can actually help it build lean tissue. The food you eat isn't just energy, it's the literal raw material, the building blocks for your body. This really suggests that a simple change, like swapping some of those saturated fats for polyunsaturated ones, could fundamentally change how your body is built. And that really brings us to a powerful final question. If your diet is the blueprint for your body and the fats you eat are the construction materials, what are you choosing to build?